Happy Memorial Day, everybody. I had to do it. It's your girl, Erica from the Classy Climb blog. If you don't know who I am, I'm the author of Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand. I'm here to offer real solutions, which a lot of people don't really want. So let me go ahead and break it down for you today. I'm not going to be on here long because I have other meetings for today. Kwame Brown, our favorite Kwame Brown. And another man I'm going to introduce today, and I actually told him I was going to do this show and I was going to have his face on the screen and made that very clear, direct emails. We are truly exposing the level of where Americans truly are. And it's scary. It's absolutely scary. We have yet, after almost a month and a half of this man consistently, daily, 4 or 5 times a day, coming on and doing videos, asking you a question that American public just jump around the question. Just do hoops, do monkey black flips, jump, slide down slides to avoid the truth of the question. What is the truth of the question? Why would they pick Kwame Brown, LeBron James, Harnett, several people straight from high school to play in the NBA? Because they have the talent, because they have the athleticism, because they can develop them on their own. Why would anybody want to stop 6'8" grown 18-year-olds from making money? Because it messes up somebody else's money. That's it. And no one, not Stephen A. Smith, not any of the basketball players, not any of the ESPN shows will address the true conversation. You will get millions of guys commenting on like, oh, that's an NCAA conspiracy. Why do the football stadiums want to sell you drinks now? Why are they enforcing you have to do 2 years minimum? Why are they enforcing all these rules where they clearly aren't developing the kids? They don't put them in finance classes. They don't put them in accounting classes. They don't put them in classes on how to invest their money when they do get their money. Why? Because it's a system where everybody gets paid except the basketball player. It's a system where everybody gets paid except for the NBA player, except for the football player, except for the baseball player, or the baseball players get pretty good money. And when you address these systems, what you realize is the average American is so damn dumb as a doorknob that they can't even grasp that there is a system here, right? We talk about MLM marketing. A lot of people get mad. They go, oh man, it's a pyramid scheme. Your job is a pyramid scheme. You have one boss, some leaders, then you have another one, a set of leaders after that, and then you are at the bottom. Baby, that's a pyramid scheme. You will never get to the top. That's why you have so many books about climbing the corporate ladder. You can't. Out of every single NBA team and NFL team, there's not one black owner of a team. There's not. And what this has exposed you to is the fact that the average American cannot read. And if they can read, is on the bare minimum level. Their reading comprehension is trash. And this is how the country devolves. Because everybody's going, this man's angry. This man's this. This man is living the life of the average retired sports guy. Has enough money, paid the house, paid the taxes, has a few trinkets, has a side business. Some type of business. The guys and girls you see always on Sports Center and ESPN, they're getting paid to be there. They need that money. They need it. That is their hustle. Okay? Now, no one wants to address when they find countless audio of Stephen A. Smith talking bad about this young man. Why was he made his career off that? No one actually talks about it. You know why they don't want to talk about it? Because this could be just like Europe. Europe, you go on after high school, you go to the sports teams, you go on about your business and you play sports. America has a system where they put you through college, and I would be all for it if the college degree they actually gave you was encountered. And I know this from personal family experience. We have 2 family members that played football, stellar football, for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, they did not have a degree. They did not have a degree. And when our family members confronted the school on it, they said, well, we'll give them free schooling for the next year. They had these kids, these 2 boys, and I'm not going to call them kids because they're grown men. They're older than me at this point. In every kind of football, PE, archery, a class and one math a semester, one English a semester, one just enough to say they're really going to college. They are not developing these kids for anything. No one wants to address that issue. And that's why I'm glad and I celebrate Kwame Brown coming out, because he's the average Southern Black man I know that goes, hey, that don't sound too good to me. Something about that sounds off. That actually uses their brain to think. Okay? Now, why am I bringing this up on Memorial Day? Why am I bringing this up on Memorial Day? Why am I bringing this up on Tulsa, Oklahoma? All this talk is because the average person is starting to see. We just found 215 more bodies, children's bodies, stillborn babies' bodies out of a gravesite at another Indian school. Now, people are going to be like, why are you bringing that up? Because these things aren't that far removed. You're asking communities of people to be better, and you won't even acknowledge, how did we get here? Well, you should just go get a job and get over it. You're not even acknowledging that you just assaulted my grandma, and I should be over it. My mom should be over it, and I should be over it. My mother was the first person in her North Carolina district, her county, to integrate schools with her cousin and her sister. These aren't so far away. So you want people to say, Erica, don't believe in conspiracy theories. These things are conspiracy theories. No, they're not. Who gets paid? The students don't get paid. We have countless students being blocked from even using their own name and own likeness to make t-shirts, to sponsor stuff, to sponsor drinks. Have you ever seen some of these kids' pages? They have 100,000 followers on Twitter, 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'm glad several of the kids are walking away when they say, if you don't stop running this Instagram, we're going to kick you out the program. Goodbye. You should be educating your son on how to monetize from his own name. And it ain't that hard. That's why when people talk about everybody's making six figures, no, the lie is a lot of them making six figures, but they're spending half of it on advertising. But it's much better to have your own six figures than to go work for somebody. That just is what it is. Now, I'm going to share my screen. And I spoke with this man today via Facebook messaging. And, you know, he want to come say something to me. I'm okay with it. I want you to be very clear. Very clear. When you put out information, this is the system. Lead generation, follow up, offer. But here's the problem when it comes to YouTube. We have a lot of people getting lead generation. What is lead generation? They're bringing cheap eyeballs over to what they're talking about. Then they follow up with everybody in the chat. They going back and forth in the chat. They going and doing this back and forth in the chat with them. And when you ask what's the solution, there is none. Now, I don't want no smoke with Jason Black. I know his people is deep in the YouTube world. But somebody came on the channel and was like, what's the solution? He's like, I'm trying to offer it to you. Shut up. So the solution is ownership. It will always be ownership, right? So he had several 50, 60-year-old people calling and saying, well, what's the solution? You know, brother, we always be talking about the problem. The problem is ownership. I do not want to hear from another New York person who left New York because they could not afford to live there, moved to Atlanta and didn't buy anything, but been in Atlanta 10, 15, 20 years. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I mean that. I'm not scared. I know people think I'm out here to kiss y'all butt, and I'm not. The people in Tulsa, Oklahoma to this day have money in the bank from 100 years ago, been collecting interest for 100 years. There are laws on the book that lets the bank take your money if you abandon it and they've reached out to you or they tried to reach out to you. The reason they haven't pulled that in Tulsa because those people still live in those areas. I have friends who live in Tulsa, live in Oklahoma, not in Tulsa, but one of them went to school there. They know white people who have stuff in their house from after the Tulsa burn down. Like, well, I got it because somebody was selling it. That's the lie they'll tell you. You know, your grandpa was probably in the street helping assault people and got it in his house. That's what he did. That's what he did. He just don't want to face you and tell you that. Okay? Now, prime example, I'm going to show you why I respect and do not respect a lot of stuff that's on the internet. A lot of people are doing a bunch of stirring up the pot of trouble and never have a solution. Because if you really want me to go there, I'm going to hit it real quick and I'm free feel for all the fire. Ownership, owning something, marriage and kids. And that means kids that live under your roof. I get it. There's going to be a lot of smoke. Erica, don't talk to me like that. I take care of my kids. I literally had to tell somebody on Instagram the other day. Baby, I don't care if you send check for your kids. If your kids don't live under the roof with you every day and see how a man conducts himself, then what do they know? They know how you act on the weekend. And if you act on the weekend, all you do is chill and barbecue. That's all they know of a man. I said it. Feel free to hit me with the heat. I don't really care. If you ask these people, what's the solution? If the solution is just getting money and throwing the money in the clubs and going overseas and buying ladies from the night overseas and not having generational wealth, then what are you chasing this money for? Because all you're doing is making a bunch of money to give it back to the government. That's really what you're saying. I'm just going to go make a bunch of money, go to Miami and Atlanta a bunch of times and throw money in the air. And then when I die with no life insurance policy, y'all gonna bury me, and all the money I had with my bank or wherever I had it, whatever kids I got spread out over here, they may get it. If they don't get it, it's just gonna go back to the government. And that's why I can't respect people on that level. You cannot tell me some trick stuff and want me, and I get that word from Diamond Dave, but you can't tell me some trick behavior and actually think I'm supposed to respect you as a person. I cannot. Now, prime example, I'm going to give you this here today. I know some people are not going to like this. I may have to take this video down because I have some actual commercial engagements. I have several things I'm doing this year that may require me to take some of these videos down. I'm not worried about it because I have a plan and that's all that matters. I am my own boss. I want you to see this page, and I hope it's big enough. I hope y'all can see it enough. The problem here is Shakur. I don't want to mess his name up. I apologize in advance. This is a black man. There's nothing wrong with him, but I want you to read. I want you to understand when you put out lead generation, and I'm using business terms, what you post, you got to see who comes back with it, right? So he put out here, and this is just recent. I'm for the truth no matter who tells it. I'm for justice no matter who it is for or against. I am a human being first and foremost, and as such, and for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole, Malcolm X. Now, nothing wrong with that post. Nothing wrong with it. Now I'm going to get you down to where the problem occurred today. And I have no shame in sharing this. He can feel free to come over here. He said, my comment section looks like a Klan orientation today. Now, all he simply said, now, if you go over this man page, he has a lot of what we would call conservative talking points, red pill talking points. And you have to understand when you put out certain kind of conversation and a lead generation, you're going to see who you get back real quick. You're going to see. Okay. Now, if you go to this man's page and he's got 45,000 followers on Facebook, if you go up in here, and I'm trying to get to it, give me a second. I promise y'all I'm going to get to it. He put up here, Memorial Day is a black holiday. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but anybody who's from the Southeast, I'm from North Carolina, or with the brain in their head knows this is taught in school in South Carolina and North Carolina, that Memorial Day came out the fact that, they buried a bunch of black troops and the black people dug them up and gave them a proper burial. And that became Memorial Day. Now, he's got 192 comments, 223 shares. Now, of course, if you read, I'm not going to insult these women, and these men in the comment section he has, but a lot of them have no clue to this. No clue to this. This is like foreign knowledge to them. Even in the comments when he actually shows the links and tells him, they literally go, what are you talking about? Memorial Days for all soldiers. What are you talking about? And again, this man is literally posting. Where did it come from? What is the origins of Memorial Day? Several people keep posting it. What is the origins of Memorial Day? Keep posting it. And again, and several white people, the first instinct for them is to do what? Honestly, if you read some of these comments, some very racial stuff. What about white people? All lives matter. This is kind of the audience he has procured, no disrespect, because he's posting these red pill talking points and these conservative all lives matter talking points. So now you've built up a lead generation of people, right, who are in your comment section saying some off the wall racist stuff because they originally came to your page because of your lead generation of what you were saying. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because this is something I've personally experienced where I'll post things on my page and my friends are like, oh, why are you posting that? That's race baiting. I go, no, that's a historical fact. That's something that happened in history. I'm going to post it every day. I've got friends who have adopted Black children. I've got friends across a spasm here who are not Black. And sometimes are like, I'm confused. And I'm like, let me help you clarify. Because you have to be careful what you're putting out there. You're going to get Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Pearson, whatever, Larry Elders, several of them. They have moments where I completely disagree with them. 150%. I tell my white friends all the time, don't you send me no Candace Owens bullshit. Don't send me not near things she puts out. Because just because a Black face says it doesn't mean I should accept it and yes, that's good. No, show me a white woman saying what she's saying and send it to me. Show it to me. So again, 1865, Charleston, South Carolina. You already know how Charleston, South Carolina is. Held a parade of 10,000 people to honor 257 dead Union soldiers whose remains were buried in a mass grave in a Confederate prison camp. Now again, let it be told, several of these white people in the comments are like, I know history. I love history. Listen how they talking. Look how they talking. And again, go look at more on his page. Again, look on more on his page. There's no disrespect. I post Fox stuff. I post Fox business. But this is why I tell y'all, what is the true end to the mean? The end to the mean for every American is the opportunity to get what? Your pursuit of happiness. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have no solutions, I'm not playing with you this year. All this back and forth. Look at the people that are successful. They go what? They own something. They marry. And you can go however you want with this marriage thing to me. I get y'all are on some cray stuff. That's okay. Fine. Do what you do. And they have children that live under their household. Even Tariq Nasheed, who wrote a book 20 years ago that y'all won't let it go about pimping, has a wife, has several children under his household that live well. What is your child doing right now? Are they living well? And I post something in the community tab just as an example. A grown man on Facebook going viral because he's like, she didn't tell me about the baby's graduation. Honey, it's May, June. Every year, thousands of children graduate from kindergarten, May and June. This already told me and told everybody I know that you are not an involved parent because you would already have the teacher's name. You'd be on the email list. Anytime you're a point of contact, you're on the email list for the school. They don't just put one parent as a point of contact. Shoot, my mother gets messages as a grandparent for both her children that are in school right now. And the father and my sister and her. So what I'm telling you is people who are out here getting a lot of traction, a lot of lead generation on silly mess. And when it starts to feed back, they like, wait a minute, hold up. Yes, that's the people you're attracting. That's the people you're attracting. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I want you to just look. I just want you to be aware. When I post Donald Trump stuff, I want you to be aware. People say crazy stuff to me. And I go, no, not today. Now, the other part of that story people missed about the kindergartner, the man's on house arrest for beating a woman for a domestic violence charge. He can't even leave the state of Texas, but he went viral complaining about her not sending the baby's information. Other men had to check him and say, no, you will not post this stuff. Sir, you can't even leave the state. Sir, you can't even go to Atlanta. Why are you bashing this woman? Guess what? Mark Zuckerberg even came in and banned him off Facebook. You done. You went viral, but now you done because you want to be silly. Let me be very clear with y'all. Kwame Brown has stated in every single video, why would the ESPN, the Basketball Association, why would all these very powerful, with money behind them, with talking points every day, why would they bash incoming folks? Now, they bash LeBron, they bash Garrett, they bash every single one of them kids that came out straight from high school. There's even a bus list, and he's not even number one. There's a white kid from your opponent. Because what he's saying is accurate and true. Nobody will address the elephant in the room, that the fact that Kwame Brown has, even though you say, well, he's ranting, he's raving, he's angry. What is he angry about? He's angry about the fact that not even Stephen A. Smith, when allowed to make a whole production out of it and show all these passes where he dropped the ball, still refuses to acknowledge who put you on tour. Who paid for that tour for you to go to all these colleges? Who paid for it? Why did Jalen Rhodes not be allowed to come back on right after that? Because he wouldn't get along to go along. The average American, there's a great book you guys should read. It's called Rage Inc. It talks about how essentially our society makes a lot of money getting you to be mad. There's another book called Angry White Man, right? You're walking around and people telling you winning at life, but you can't seem to get the results of that, right? Okay. I'm pretty sure it's Rage Inc. Let me double check for a lot of y'all. I want y'all to, because here on this channel, I don't just say you should believe what I say. And I'm going to say something, people are going to be mad about this. Check the stats. When somebody starts telling you who's middle class, who's not middle class, let's be very clear. Middle class in America is 35,000 to 150,000. That's a big gap. So when you tell me a lot of people in this particular demographic is middle class and childless, I'm going to go look that up, right? I'm not just going to go, yeah, whatever you say, boo. That sounds great. That doesn't fly with me. But the average American isn't trying to do that. They just want to have talking points and be like, I got you. Ha, I got you. But you didn't. You really didn't, though. Now, I had Diamond Dave on the other channel. And why did I bring this up? Because we talked about iHeartRadio, where people were upset about the type of podcasts that are out there, right? They're upset about the type of representation they're getting. And when you really talk to people about, well, what do you want to do? Well, let's go out and protest, and we're going to get mad, and we're going to write articles, and we're going to write blogs, and we're going to do this. None of those things hit the bottom line, aka the pockets. Not one. Not one. You telling me a bunch of silly mess that has nothing to do with, anytime somebody tell me they want to boycott a company, I say, well, who's the conglomerate it's in? What do you mean? Okay, you want to boycott Taco Bell, but Taco Bell owns KFC and all these other places. It owns a bunch of places. How are you boycotting? You're not boycotting. It's not possible. Okay, so when people sit here and tell me they're mad about the particular podcast they're hearing, Diamond Dave did a really great explanation when he talked about Charleston Heston complaining about Ice-T, bump the police. Okay, why did that get taken off? Because shareholders complained. Y'all give me a minute. I'm gonna give y'all give me a quick minute to get this water down, and I'm gonna come right back to you. Okay. Hold on one second. Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, out and out, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel. Okay, we back. Thank you for our sponsor, Erica Williams, the host of 2020 FitCon. I may take this video down because, I do have some brands that I'm working with this year. Can't just do whatever I want sometimes. Now, if you're in the chat, there's over 400 people that were in the chat. Drop your city and state in the chat. Why am I bringing this up? Because the audience you attract in with your lead generation, with your posts, your commentary, Facebook filters you out to certain people. And I'm going to just say it like this. I was arguing one time with this man on Facebook, and I had to stop myself because I said, girl, look at this man. Look where he living. Look where he works. You got more money than him. You got more opportunity than him. You have more access to him. And he's just mad right now. Because when I argue with people on Facebook, all I do is post a fact and then disappear, and then come back 3 days later and then go back again and post another fact and walk away. It drives folks crazy because they can't argue a fact. Well. And a prime example, there was a young man who basically abandoned his 4-year-old twins. He's white here in Houston because he had a drug charge, and he went and hid out in Houston. Now that just tells you right there, Dallas, Texas, gonna pull you in the car. They're gonna pull you. You in the car, they're gonna look for you. They're gonna pull you. Houston's got so many other issues. They ain't got time. And his children, he left them there. Well, months later, since February, all of a sudden, one of the children got kidnapped and killed, and people were like, "What happened?" Oh my goodness, this is crazy. And I said everywhere I went, that father needs to be arrested for child neglect. And the first thing people did was, what about the mama? Her too. Shit, arrest everybody. You know why? Because if this was on the other hand, on the other foot, where food stamps and government aid is being sent for 2 children and nobody knows where they are and nobody's accounting for them and nobody even knows if they're being well fed or kept, arrest everybody who's in the room on neglect. Right? But we have a lot of people saying, well, Erica, look at him. He's just a hardworking dad. Nobody really wants to address the solutions in the room. The solution is absolute accountability for everybody involved. So when you have a Facebook page and you post stuff on your Facebook page where people start talking crazy, the accountability is with you. And it is your job as the poster of that Facebook page to go through and start checking people till they neck hurt. You need to be neck chopping everybody in your chat. Why? Because that is how you curtail and grow the right audience. Like, I respect all these people out here on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram posting and grabbing a lot of attention, getting a lot of traction. But if you don't check the people that's in your audience, because what is the true end all of this? It can't be just getting attention. You have to actually make some of this go somewhere. This actually has to have a solution, and the solution should be money, right? What are you trying to sell to this audience? If you have nothing to sell to this audience, why are you on Facebook every day posting crazy stuff? For attention? To me, that's my whole thing. I don't understand anybody trying to build brands that deal with crazy people. If they're not putting money in your pocket, I don't understand. You know, what LeVar Ball had to understand is there is a machine. And nobody likes this word, but there are even YouTubers at my level who talk about the machine. What's the machine? You put lead information out. You get supporters on the journey. You get co-affiliates with you to work with you to make this machine work. And that can be ads, that can be sponsors, that can be JV deals, that can be podcast interviews. Then you take that and make what? Money. Okay. LeVar Ball, who already had this massive pushback and all this attention, really all he had to do was create a bigger brand for himself. Just start investing in different projects, co-owning a lot of little companies, and doing such. That's all he had to do. That's my main thing. When you talk about people, like, I'm a Southerner. We love history. We love history to the fact that I can go, when I'm here in Texas, every time I see a historical marker, I try to stop my car. It says a historical marker will mount up. I'm like, oh, slow down. And I love reading them because it'll be some of the most wild things you ever heard of. I was in Round Rock getting ice cream. I saw a marker and I said, let me stop. I stopped, got out of my car. It was a location of Underground Railroad for Black people. And in this space that they're getting ready to tear down and build apartments are the graves of Black people. One of the biggest historical Black churches is at that corner where there's a freaking Andy's ice cream. And I would have never known if it wasn't for that marker. So when people go, where are all the Black people in Austin? They've been here forever. Forever. They haven't left. They've been here. And that's my frustration with people when they act like history doesn't matter and history doesn't play a role. This corner, the reason you have Black people living on that one part of Round Rock, it isn't accidental. They've always been over there. They've always been on that side of town. Since that church has been a burial for hundreds of people. And they're going to act like, well, we moved some of the graves. No, you didn't. You built this road up over this. There's places in Gerald, Texas right now where I see graves and I go, I know the rest of this highway is graves. We just built over it. Prime example, Glenn Beck. When Glenn Beck started talking about Black Americans, let me pull this up for y'all because y'all gonna say I'm lying and y'all be hating Glenn Beck. But I'm telling you, when Glenn Beck started talking about Black American history and look at why did they take this away, all of a sudden they had to get Glenn Beck out of there. Right, so he had a this is a good one. Now, if you go here, let me see if I can do this. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I'm gonna just share the screen real brief. I ain't gonna share no audio, and y'all can go look this up on your own. I don't want to get no smoke from YouTube. I've got 400 people here, but I want you to understand. Let me see if it'll do it. Will it do it? Dang, hold on. It's Glenn Beck from 2012, Founders Day Friday, Black American Founders. He spent several shows in a row. They were so mad with Glenn Beck. They told him, do not do this anymore. They actually have, if you watch this show, they sent a guy who's very famous that if you read everything about him, he's, oh, shame on him going to these places and harassing people. He went into actual Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and he would ask for these paintings of these, and y'all can go look at that at your own time. I don't get no copyright strike. Y'all can go look at this video. He would go in those places and ask for these historically Black people that got elected as Republicans almost 100 years ago. Some of the places are 100 years, some are 120 years, and ask, why are these paintings on the wall? And the police would run them out of there. I mean, he had to get lawyers sometimes so he could get access to the photos and these nice, beautiful oil paintings from the 1860s, 1870s, 1880s. Imagine if you were a Black criminal coming into a courthouse in Alabama and Mississippi and seeing nothing but Black elected officials on the wall. You would not be acting the way you act. You would not be carrying yourself on in your county like that because they can't say you didn't come from excellence because you're right there on the daggone wall in the county. If you are awake enough to realize that these people are telling you, hey, there's a system here and it's quite unfair. And I just want you to address the system. Nobody will address the system with Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown talks about kids' fourth grade reading levels, Black males, and he mostly talking about South Carolina. Black male reading levels are low. Can y'all give me money to build a school down here or help with these programs? Nobody would say anything to Kwame about that. Nobody addressed the true issues Kwame Brown keeps bringing up every show. He brought on Judge Brown. He brought on these different people. He's like, hey, anybody going to talk to me about this? No. Silence. How are you going to be a basketball player, a famous person with money in your pocket and out here protesting? It's a simple question. Say what you want about Kilpatrick or Calpatrick or Cappatrick, whatever, Kaepernick. Obey has a charity that he puts millions of dollars into every year. He's doing great, but if you go read Facebook comments, you got all these broke, because I know you're broke, because the United States IRS done told me 76% of the people out here make $30,000 or less, so don't argue with me, I know. And if you want me to show you my taxes, I can do that. You won't like that, I promise you. It'll embarrass you. That they are broke, and they're arguing, telling that Kaepernick is broke, telling you that these famous people are broke. They can't stand it. You know why? Lead generation. We're getting a lot of these people thinking they're better than somebody, and they're not. They have no results to show that. They have no ownership to show that. I'm meeting white people here in Texas. They're the first person in their family to own something. Been here forever. Renting forever. So again, when I talk to people, what are the solutions you have? If it's not ownership, if it's not paying for charities for these kids to read better, because a ton of these parents are not putting these kids through tutoring, they're not even looking after these kids, then I don't really want to hear it, because you're not keeping it real. You're just out here to get attention. Nothing's worse than a man just getting attention. You may complain, these women out here half dressed trying to get attention. Well, these men posting crazy stuff on Facebook is the same thing. And same thing on YouTube. These people that are grown married men with children in their house telling you not to get married with a wife beside them. You got one man, I'm not going to say his name. He has been called out 57 times. He has a wife that's older than him, and she was a single mama when he married her. But he telling you, shame on you. Come on now. What's the solution here, people? Get real. I may have to delete this. This one is a little wild. Larry Elder, listen, my problem with Larry Elder is it just go a little bit off the rails every time. That's why I stick with Ben Shapiro. You give me numbers, I can argue with you about numbers. You give me court cases, I'll argue with you about court cases. You give me what's the solution? Erica, everybody can't be a business owner. That's fine, but it doesn't mean you have to live in poverty. You need to go get the tech skills you want, or you need to get some hustle about you. You don't have to own your own business. That's sure. That's fine. But I hope you're paying attention to this great reset we have going on. Because what do other people have planned for you? Not much at all. People don't read books outside of school and shows. Listen, every time you see Juneteenth, I get exhausted because people are like, why are they bringing this up? And I'm like, well, we're in Texas. Texas was the last holdout. That's why it's here. It's a Texas created calendar day because it's Texas going, why bad? My bad. We were doing it for 2 more years after. Whoops, my bad. So yeah, should it be a national holiday? Yeah, it should be. Learn something new today. Listen, y'all have to understand, whatever you post on your Facebook's gonna give you more. If you posting police shootings and all this crazy stuff, you're gonna get more of that. You're gonna get more of that. But every day when people wake up, there's more information being coming out here in America. And you can do what you want with it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you look me in your eye and you tell me, Eric, I don't want to own anything and I just want to make more money, to do what? To throw it on strippers? To eat out? To travel? Okay, what else? What else? There's got to be something else. What's the legacy here? You need to read the book Purpose Driven Life. Chap Daddy, Larry Elder is just one of many. There are 50 million Black people. I'm just doing hyperbole. There's 50 million ways to live. Larry Elder isn't the truth for nobody but Larry Elder. Ben B, I'm gonna keep it real regardless. There is a graduation. They have the little cap and gown. You put on the little red hat and you put on the little gown. In many southern states, you still do that. Excuse me. You know, Kwame Brown's just showing me that most Americans can't read. They can't read. They can't comprehend. They can't watch anything past 10 minutes. Kwame Brown keeps bringing up to y'all, hey, y'all gonna give me some money for these kids to read at school? Do y'all want to learn how to start a business by going to your local da-da-da-da-da? No one ever addresses that. Not one person. You know why? Because then they'd have to really talk about issues. The people they have on podcasts on Spotify and iHeartRadio is who they want up there. Goof troops. And I'll keep saying that over and over. I will purposely keep buying shares of iHeartMedia so that one day I can go up there and be like, are y'all serious? Tabitha Brown is the one shining star out of all this Black media craziness, right? If you go watch BET #2, BET Jams, BET Her, and BET something else, these are amazing, wonderful BET channels. I'm not even trying to be funny, you guys. Please go look this up for your own. They play jazz, they show beaches, they show travel, they have cooking shows, vegetarian shows, they talk about business. But BET itself, trash, straight trash. And what's mostly on your TV? The #1 BET, not the other ones. So is the content being produced? Of course, it's out there. Listen, hey, the get along game, because they need that money from them. Listen, Mark Zuckerberg was like, he tired of that. He was tired of it went viral. You can go look it up. There you go. I mean, it's a lot of them. Rage Inc. It's Angry White Man. It's several books. There's a book called Death of White America, Pat Buchanan. There's another book about things falling apart in America. There's several. And it's not just, and I've talked about this, where I had my hands full and I was trying to go out of a door and there was a young man on the other side of the door and he's just standing there looking at me. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me. So I turn around and start backing out of the door with my butt. And this older man gets up and runs and grabs the door because he's looking at him like, what the hell is your problem, son? Grab the damn door. Right? So we have an aptitude of our young people who are not even checked in, right? You have an aptitude when you're not in the South, because in the South, they would have been shunning that boy. But you have these people who aren't even they're not even checked in. They're not even registering past 8th grade. And this is why I'm a big proponent for getting these kids in trades, getting these kids in trade schools, getting them in community college, getting these basketball players, because you're going to have these boys focus on sports for another 5 years after they graduate high school. If you think you're that good, son, go play overseas. Go play overseas. You're in football, go play in Canada. Go play. Because if you're not going to focus on any other aspect of your life, this is why that group of people always is late. And when I mean late, late to starting different careers, late to moving on with life, all that stuff. When Jalen and Bear skipped, they had to bring Stephanie back from vacation. Listen, I mean, it is what it is. Do your research, always. Do your research, always. Yeah, if you want any of the courses or anything, classyclimbers.com. You can always get them there. The colleges create jobs for thousands of people. If everyone went to the league out of high school, it would impact small towns and the economy. Bingo. That's right. If it bleeds, it leads. That's always been the news. Facebook can be a useful tool, but this is what I tell people. If you get a consult from me, the only thing I'm gonna tell you use Facebook for is create a Facebook group. Put a bunch of people in there, let them argue with each other all day long, and then you keep posting what you have to offer, and you pull out sales out of that Facebook group. Any mastermind group can teach you that. And when you go, if you get a chance to go on the fall tour, you'll see what we're talking about. Capricorn Way, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe he's pointing out the fact that you have grown men pretending to be thugs. You have grown men standing in the street protesting they're a millionaire. But they can't tell you what charity they're working with, what they're doing. It don't make sense. Exactly. It doesn't make sense in America that we are a capitalist society and we do not focus on teaching kids accounting. The Rockefellers took accounting out of schools many moons ago. My mom, she was a divorced mom and then she got remarried, but she literally had a green accounting book. When she got her military paycheck, she put in numbers in there. She wrote out every bill. And I saw this for years as a kid. And I was like, man, that's a lot of writing. You have people can't do that. You have people every month like, I don't know how my bills get paid. Oh, I didn't know my light bill was coming. I didn't know. I keep getting over it. They made $30 billion off of overdraft fees last year. That's because people don't plan their day. They don't know when money's coming out of the account. They don't know when it's hitting, when it's not hitting. They don't know. They don't know. They just walking around head in the sky. Head in the sky. Arrest everybody. You know me. I'm arrest everybody. Show them books. That's right. Chop everybody in the neck. Sam, I am. That's right. Nobody wants solutions because that would require you to actually be responsible and accountable. Every time a man tells me about he doesn't have full custodial of his kids, I ask him why and why is he not going to court every day getting those kids? Oh, well, I ain't trying to take the kids from their mama. It's some kind of BS story so that he can keep living a bachelor life and be a dad on the weekends. And again, somebody even said in the comment section that they had a friend, they stopped being their friend because every time he go get his kids, he just drop them off at his mom's and leave. Them your kids. Your mama didn't make them kids. Them your kids. This is the lack of accountability we have for grown people. This is crazy. Big ask. I mean, there you go. There you go. I don't have to say it. I don't have to say it. That's what happened to Joe Budden. Okay. Smart people love history. Listen, you got to know. You got to know an area. What happened in an area for it to look the way it looks now? There is a black cemetery. And every couple of months in the newspaper, they go, oh, the black cemetery, we don't know what we're going to do with it. And every quarter, other business owner ask, hey, do you want us to pay some boys to come cut the grass every month for $200? Oh, we just don't know. We're going to have to see if we can talk about it later. Well, you let the Hispanic cemetery get taken over by the car dealership and they cut it every month. Why can't another business cut the black cemetery every month? Oh, we just don't know. So you have to be active in your own neighborhood. You have to be active in your own city. As long as my foot is in Texas, I'm going to be putting my foot in people's butt on why something doesn't look the way it's supposed to. Hey, why won't y'all fix that? Hey, how come that's going on? Hey, how come y'all won't put that coding place, that boot camp on the black side of town? How come y'all won't take that over there? How come that's like this? You need to be asking those questions. The number one guy who writes gun legislation as a private business owner in Austin, Texas, well, really in the state of Texas, is a black gun owner down here called Central Gun Works. Go look him up. I'm not lying. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He's here in Texas, been in Texas forever. He goes up there and fights for gun legislation in Texas. Number one, Black business owner. You wouldn't know that. Again, what do you mean? African American and Black Americans? I mean, people can play with them words if they want to. I'm Native American. I'm actually registered with the tribe, and there is some Black ancestral blood with me. Yes. Period. I can go trace my family back to 1790. I can go show you where my family lived. I can show you the lands. I can show you on paperwork documents that they're labeled as Native American, show you they're labeled as free persons of color, and then they're back to American Indians, and then they're mulatto, and then they're octomaroon. I can show you all those things because I am a history buff, because I'm a real Southerner. But people are choosing those words, okay? If you want to ask Tariq about that. I don't know. This is the thing. When Glenn Beck started really kicking that stuff off, and I tell you all the time, go read the book. Glenn Beck's book Broke. And people give me such hate in the comments. Oh, Erica, we this daggone, Glenn Beck. You are letting your emotions cloud you from actual logical reason. If you go read this book that has over 400 footnotes from actual reports, it shows you the stuff that we're dealing with right now, where we'll be so broke as in America, we'll start shutting down things and go, oh, we can't afford to keep that going, and oh, we can't afford to get this going. Because in the end, we'll only have enough money for entitlements. That's why when I tell y'all these house prices ain't going down, there's a lot I could talk about. But what I want you to understand is, like, the reset, get where you gonna get. That's why I made that past video. Start a business, start a farm. Get where you gonna get. Because a lot of you don't want to adjust, you don't want to change. So, get what you get. Thank you so much, Wildfire Aspect. I appreciate that. Yeah, they got Houston, Texas, and let's even go more deep into it. Sugarland, Pearland, these are plantation names. These are where the sugar cane came from. Out there in Houston right now, they're digging up to build this big old project, and they had to stop because they found so many bodies of not slavery, of like prison workers. This is 1920s, 1930s. Black prison workers, arm chopped, leg chopped, different stuff, injured. Why? Because they had them working free labor till they drop dead after slavery. This is 1920s, 1930s. This Dust Bowl, right? This is crazy times. They had them out there working. So again, go on in there and go look at Houston for yourself. You don't have to believe me. You can Google every single thing I'm telling you. Y'all can go look up this stuff. Okay? Go look it up. Reconstruction history, all of it. That's the thing, kids. Everybody making. Okay. So just to clarify, BLM means Bureau of Land Management. So I want y'all to be this cracks me up. When y'all talk about Black Lives Matter, I laugh, because BLM also means Bureau of Land Management. What is Bureau of Land Management? It's land they took from Native American people and farmers and converted it to free lands. When you're in Arizona, oh, you can camp at BLM. When you out there in Colorado, you can camp at BLM. When you in California, you can camp at BLM. Yeah, it's lands they took from Native people and Black people and farmers. Yeah, you can camp there because it's free. Because they never developed it. Because see, there's those 100, 200-year rules. When you take something from somebody, you might owe somebody's children. See, they waiting for a lot of people's children to die off. Funny thing about that Tulsa, Oklahoma thing, them Black people made of titanium steel. I don't know what they made of. But they 107 with sharp minds and sharp memories and can tell you day 1 to day 7 what happened. Pay them people out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Them white people came and took stuff out of their house and was jealous. The National Guard came and helped on it. And the fact remains they blocked the trains. People couldn't get in there to help them. Black people back then was rolling up and getting in the buggy and getting ready to shoot it out. Okay? We had a different set of Black people back then. Economics plays. See, the problem is nobody wants to address the elephant in the room, engineering campus. Economics plays a bigger role than all this. Kwame Brown can talk shit all day. You know why? Because he owns his own business. He owns his own lands. He owns his own house. You can't destruct. And this is the double part of this. You can't also destroy somebody who got a following. That's the stuff people completely forget. They think they're going to tackle all these people and do this and that to these people. You can't. They got a following. Once you have a following, it's dag near hard to destroy it. It's real hard to destroy. I mean, you almost have to just literally destroy yourself in the process. Tommy Sotomayor, all these years, still has a following. Several people on YouTube, been out here for 20 years, still have a following. And every day, if they just follow up Legion, they can make sales every day. They don't ever have to leave their house. Kwame Brown is at 300,000 subscribers. They owe him a silver play button. They owe him a silver play button. He better get it too. And they owe him some checks because I've been seeing those cash apps go through. Trust me, they owe him thousands of dollars at this point. Trust. He's also part of the pension fund. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand when people try to talk smack to me and they go work for somebody Monday through Friday, I'm like, baby, you ain't even free enough to make your own decision. You're not. Right? When you get to a place in America where you realize, when I tell people, hey, you could spend $300 a month on ads and do this, and people be like, ooh, $300? Or hey, if you just take $1,000, you can create this. People like, ooh, $1,000 here? It's not that people are making money. They just don't have lump sum money saved up to invest or do anything. So when you meet people who actually have the time and money to have podcast setups and staff and stuff, you what are you talking about, dude? Trust me, I've been a Southerner a long time. A lot of people that y'all think got all this old money, they got maybe like 10 rental properties and people paying $400 rent. They just got a lot of land. That's all. So economics plays a big role of why you live where you live. Every single one of these men online talking about they only care if the woman's beautiful. Then don't ask her for no rent money. Just tell her to move in because she's so beautiful and you'll take care of her. But see, that's not true because you don't have it like that. The IRS already told me you don't have it like that. So you don't front. This is the stuff that's exposing Americans. You're being exposed. Don't do it. Don't claim these things when people can find your IP address. They can find where you live. They can look up your mama and them. Like, don't lie. Don't do it. Here we go. Here we go. Diamond, what is that? What is that? What does that matter? What are we talking about here? Men not being able to read, men not starting businesses, Kwame Brown speaking truth, right? We love talking about Black women having useless degrees because we're like, we got them, girl. We're going to, yeah. We're not talking about all these 89%. And go look this up. This isn't me just making up. This is a quote. 89% of people who start college within 6 years do not finish and have debt. So your cousin JoJo and Bobby and them and Jerome that went for a semester or two, they still got the debt. Come on now. People always want to start in the middle, never at the source of the issues, for sure. There you go. Wait a minute. Excuse me. Damien is hilarious. So, Damien, here's my thing. This is a favorite Black person talking point. That Black people cheat on their taxes. Now, do we have people cheat on their taxes? Oh, dang, I dropped the cap. Yes, we do. But guess what? Every 1099 you do, every job you work, the IRS got it. They just trying to figure out, is it worth me going back and getting Susie Q over there for, shaving off $2,000-$3,000 a year for income? No. Again, miss me with that. The IRS stats are direct from your employer. They're getting these stats from your employer. These aren't just the data points that you provide. The IRS already know that you put your social over there and you've been working over there. They already know it. They letting you come up with this BS, okay? So the numbers are the numbers. I'm coming to Chicago. I don't know if I'm going to do the meetup there because we have a tour in the fall coming. So I may not be able to do the meetup there. And plus, I'll be checking on family, investment properties, and also a country music concert. But I will let y'all know. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Listen, at the end of the day, Kwame Brown is doing great work. I'm from North Carolina, and when I meet a South Carolina man, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because y'all know how I feel about South Carolina and how they've educated the people poorly. And he has his stick on straight, and he's like on it. I'm all about it. Listen, I keep telling people keep playing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've talked to a lot of creators, and a lot of people have a hard time just logging into Teachable and doing the modules. And that's not even the 15% that don't even ever log in. People that pay $1,000 for a course, 15% never even log in, and that's national numbers. It's 40% when the class is under $200. So that's what I'm telling you. People will buy stuff and be like, "Oh, I'm really gonna get on this. I'm gonna get on this." What you have to understand is if you don't calendar block out your day to daily attack this, you'll forget. And that's what a lot of these internet folks are hoping. They hoping they're gonna keep telling you Kwame Brown's angry, and you completely missed the part where he talked about the NCAA. Oh, he angry. Look how angry he is. You completely missed the part where he talks about starting a business. Oh, he angry. He angry. You completely missed the part where he talked about let's do something about these boys reading at a fourth grade level. I've had grown men text me back and I'd be like, did you fall in the tub? Did you have a stroke? What are you texting me? It's that bad out here, folks. That bad. You know, there will always be people in those situations. Floyd Holt, I can't mess with you today. You doing too much. I'm just over it. You know, I'm over it. And the rest of the summer, y'all know I'm doing a lot of marketing because I have a tour coming out all August, and then I'm a host of FitCon 2021. But that's it. And then I'm going on vacation. I ain't dealing with y'all. I ain't dealing with y'all. When I go to Alaska next week, don't call me. Don't call me, baby. When I'm in Arizona, Utah, the week after that, don't call me, baby. I'm gonna be gone. Yep, Atlanta. I mean, every city I can name every single city where black people were doing successful, isolated. Like, mind your business. I'm gonna stay over here. Y'all stay over there. Wilmington, North Carolina. They were so successful that they were the bulk of the city. And when a black man who owned the newspaper typed up that ain't nobody had to rape no white woman, she probably slept with that black man for free and enjoyed it. That's basically what he typed. You go look this up. This I'm not making this up. This is Wilmington Race Course. They have purposely to this day, where they burned that man's house down that had the newspaper in it, it's still an empty lot of land to this day. They owe those people a check. And they say, well, we're struggling to find their descendants. We struggling. Nah, you ain't. You ain't just struggling to find them people. You don't want to find them people. The blood was red in the water in Wilmington, and Wilmington's never been the same. Regardless of people from North Carolina ever telling you that, that town's never ever really fully recovered. When you take out 30% of the people who are the builders, the restaurant owners, the architects, the plumbers, the welders. See, let's have a real frank moment. From slavery, the reason these towns with all these black people got built up so fast is black people were the only people with the skilled labor, the plumbers, the bricklayers, the builders, the masonries, the blacksmith, the everything. Because they had to be, and then they were training them in those positions, and then they freed them. So now you have these people who are trained with the skill, like, peace out. Then you had doctors and lawyers training up. That's why when people talk to me and they're black conservatives and they talk about historically black schools, I want to slap them in my face with dry hand. You're stupid. Don't talk bad about HBCUs. We literally had people come from World War II and we sent them over there to crowded schools. Then when they couldn't get in class because the classes were too crowded, they tried to go back 2 years later. The government wouldn't give them their GI Bill. HBCUs to this day still produce 80% of the doctors and lawyers. And if you're a person who went to a HBCU and you don't donate to your HBCU, you are just as bad as anybody else. Going to the football games is not donating to your HBCU. Buying t-shirts and hoodies is not going to donate to your HBCU. Putting actual dollars money to the HBCU is donating to the HBCU. And that's all there is to it. Nobody wants to address that thing, though. Nobody wants to address that. I'm not touching that, Jeremy. Well, Floyd, you can do that. It's your life. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying, for me and my family, the way my grandparents suffered a little bit, and then the way my people before them and the people before them suffered, between the land thievery from the farms to the Indian affairs, like, I'm gonna have to have children because that bloodline's too daggone strong. The way they've tried to erase my family from history, no, baby, we gonna do something. That's why people miss me with that. I have no respect for people like, I just ain't gonna have kids. I'm just gonna make money and pay for strippers. Well, go and do that. Go and do that over there. That's right. I'm not gonna speak on that. Attention span's 8 seconds. I know. I'm probably gonna have to delete it because we do have a lot of sponsorship brands we are working on right now. So we might have to delete it. So it just is what it is. Solving issues don't make no money, but it does. Because you can always sell more to those people who have money now. No. J school, people can't read. No, seriously. They've gone in average cities and the average reading level is 4th grade. It's 8th to 4th grade, depending on the city. It's 8th grade. It's 8th grade. They have hundreds of people coming to prison every year who cannot read at all. Like dyslexia, just can't even comprehend. Like, trust me, it's that bad out here. I know you think it's not. Go check out the lawsuit with the national government, the United States Supreme Court. Michigan just won the lawsuit last year or 2019. It's not the teacher's job to teach your child to read. Imagine that. They went to court. The school system said, it's not our job to teach your child how to read. You're going to drop your kid off here for 8 days a year, 8 hours a day plus. And if you don't, I'm going to report you for not dropping them off. And it's still not my job to teach your child how to read. If y'all don't wake up, get some unlearn on your life, come on now. These people aren't here to teach your child how to read. The NCAA and the college isn't here to make sure your son knows how to read and accounting so he knows if somebody's ripping him off financially. No, he ain't here for that. They're here for him to play basketball and shut up. In Mom Prairie, look, I'm going to pull it up for y'all because I think people think I'd be exaggerating or lying, but nah. If you look up BT, they have other channels. And I'm going to show y'all real quick because I want... It's called like BT Jams. Let me show you here real quick. It's like BT Jams. Here it is. BT Her. BT Her. Hold on. I think y'all be thinking I'm lying. I don't want y'all to make a liar out of me. No. Hold on. BT Plus. Okay, Plus. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna show y'all because I know people think, oh, Erica out here lying again. No. I never lie, baby. I make sure I show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let me share the screen. This is BET Plus. This is streaming for children. Okay, now this isn't just the only one. Then you have BET Jams. This is for your 40s to 50s. This is for your Gen X. They're going to have jazz music. They're going to be having shows, travel shows. They're going to have all kind of stuff. It's 24/7 live TV. Then they got BET Her. Now, you already know what BET Her means. It's for the women's, okay? They out here, getting stuff featuring to women. Look at that. More women. Women. Fitness. Snatched. Soul Train Awards. About business. Now, look where they put it. About her business. From the bottom up. About her fights. Fighting cancer. Ask Auntie. Look at it. Look at all these shows on BET Her. Leading Women Defined, Pump Camp, Jet Set Fouls. This is a travel show. Take one. 60 Days of Her History. Imagine if this was on the mainstream channel now. You're going to be like, well, Erica, why does the fitness on there? Look at BET Jams. And look at the list of this. Pay attention. New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Houston, Dallas, Miami, Detroit, Raleigh. That's where Black people are. Mostly in those areas. But yeah, check it out. Don't take my word for it. They have these whole programs they got. Trust me. Whole channels, other channels of BET. They got another one. It has cooking shows on it and everything. But I can't seem to... Anyway, but you can look at here. That's the show for the gay men. That's Rich and Ruthless is another series. They got Favorite Son as a series, American Son, Redeemed. They got all these shows. Family Business, Troubled Waters, all your favorite. That's why when somebody say somebody's black famous, right? They famous in the black community. This is where they at. They bought up all these shows. Paula Patton, Preacher's Son. Look at all these stuff. Trust me, I went on my friend's house and she turned on her what do you call it? Netflix, and I was like, I ain't never seen any of these. When did these come out? Trust me. This is another one. Yes, that's another book. Jazz Love Chicks, brainwashed. You want to be brainwashed? South don't play that. That's right. It's by come on. You say what you will. There you go. The regular that's literally what the regular BT has. BT Jazz is great. BT Jazz. Okay. It's called BT Her, like HER. I'm telling you. Yeah, they literally have that. Floyd, there are several people who bought property and it says you cannot sell to non-white people. You know, here's the funny thing, Michael. When people talk about that stat, there are more single mom white women in America right now than there are even black women. Let me say that again. There are more single mom white women than there are even black women in America that are childbirthing age, because you have to really divide it after about 15. There's only a certain number of millions of black people. There's only 2 million black babies. Go look this up for yourself. It's like 2.5 million or 2.2 million black babies born a year. So when everybody's out here like, everybody got a baby. No. That's when y'all don't understand math. 70% of the women that are having babies are having them out of wedlock. So it's only 2 million of them. So there's a whole nother 20 million women that ain't had that baby that year. So who are you talking about? There's lots of people that don't understand numbers. When people talk about, well, all these men are childless, you're talking about a demographic stat from 15 years old to 25 years old. Yes, black men 15 to 25-year-old are childless. 51% are childless. Yes, that's it. I mean, I could really go through it, but I'm gonna just tell you like that. That's right. BT is not owned. Most people sitting out here in the regular American society are undereducated. It's not even prison. It's just the average person. Thank you. I know, Jordan. If y'all get it up to 1,000 a day, I really would stay on longer, but I see we keep getting capped out at 663. That's right. BET has spinoff channels. That's my whole thing. When people say, why are kids going to school? I don't know. If you can sue all the way to the United States Supreme Court that you don't have to educate children how to read, I don't even know why teachers are running around saying they love kids. Do you? That one's not as good as they made it seem. That's right. Your child's teacher, your parent is your child's first teacher every day, day and night. Period. 30 minutes spent on homework is not enough. That's right. Tamika, you're from Detroit. You know this is true. They won that lawsuit. They do not have to do it. Why is video so powerful? Paul Brown every day. Grown adults can't read every day. I know a man right now in North Carolina. He's always worked. And then someone told me, oh, he can't read. And I thought they were like joking, but I think he's dyslexic. And every woman he's ever dated filled out his job applications, filled out his appointments, and basically had control over his money because he cannot read. He cannot write. I mean, he can write a little bit, and he's not a bad looking guy. He's a tall guy. But imagine if it wasn't, I'm just going to say it, if it wasn't for a woman helping take care of him or helping guide him in their relationship to make sure he gets paid, he gets his paycheck right, he goes and fills his taxes out, he'd be in bad shape. I mean, I just want people to understand, be careful what you're posting out here. Who are you attracting to your pages? Who are you attracting to your pages? And when they start getting crazy, I want you to neck chop them. That's the problem I have with some people in this particular area. They'll let people come on the channel and say all kind of wild, crazy stuff, and no kind of regard, no kind of checks on it. Every day, talking to the average person, they'd be like, "Why are you talking about this?" Erica Ransom, I will be on the tour. We will be in Washington, D.C. I will let y'all know the tour dates sometime soon. I'm going to have a lot of good speakers and leaders on. You'll see in the future. I will try. Hey, listen, I mean, I think it's hilarious. I mean, a lot of people just be saying some crazy stuff. Literally within 2 hours in Wilmington, they voted to make it what they did okay. I mean, this is history that everybody can see, and then they act like I don't know why they doing so bad in Wilmington, North Carolina. Well, are you serious? You burned it up. Thank you, Mark, for the $20 cash app. You burned up the city. Then everybody that has mechanical, welding, sharpening, building skills go peace out, which is all the black people who own those areas, and said bye. Thank you so much, O'Darian. I appreciate the $20 cash apps. I appreciate all the cash apps. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you for the $4.99 cash app. There you go. Listen, and he probably is a great doctor. Yeah, I used to live in Alaska as a kid. Literally, people let people argue, publish, and sell your content. I'm telling you, that's what people do in Facebook groups. They spend 4 or 5 hours there arguing with strangers that they'll never meet. For what? That's why when people tell me, "Oh, I can't make no money, I can't find no job." You can't find no job that lets you play on Facebook all day. That's what you're saying. If Kwame Brown is smart, he'll keep talking to very smart people and keep bringing them on his show. Thank you guys. Oh, Geechee, South Carolina in the house. Well, welcome, South Carolina. I'm your good cousin, North Carolina, but I'm in Texas. So, oh, y'all, I got to go. It's. I've been in here too long. I got to go. My bad. I got a business I gotta go to. The school system shutdown was the biggest ripoff from personal education setback ever. These states that stay closed rob kids and parents. You have to pay for tutoring to catch your kid up. Listen, that's what's happening out here. Fix my life. Listen, Ayana's sick of y'all too. She bounced. She done with y'all too. All right. So look, I gotta go. I've got more preparation for the rest of this week, but you guys will see the tour this fall. And you guys, I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna leave this up for a few hours and probably take it down, because we ain't trying to mess with the bag in here. Shit, Fantasia couldn't even read shit from nobody. Anyways, all right, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Thank you everybody for super chatting. Thank you for supporting the channel. Again, have a wonderful day. Go check out those books I recommended.